everybody, it's Ayla Pants, aka Ashmalala. Last time I made a video, I mentioned doing a cyberpunk theme, and I went ahead and did that. So I wanted to give you a quick look around, and if you are interested in visiting, I was thinking of keeping it up for like the month of September, so you can visit and check it out. Then I was gonna private again and just make my own little home, because even with the 1400 land impact allowance that I got with this parcel, still wasn't enough. When making this alley, there are a lot of compromises I had to make. There are like three other rooms I had to let go of including, because I just did not have enough land impact allowance in order to do it. So I'm going to give you a quick tour around so you can see if you like anything in here and you can't figure out where I got it from, because I bought pretty much everything. Just, let me know and I'll figure it out for you, and I'll give you the vendor name and where you can find it. So we start off here. When I give you the landmark, this is where you'll land. This is your view. Ugh, of course we have to wait for textures to render in. Thank you, Second Life. Okay, that's almost completely rendered in, so we can go ahead and start walking around. You might notice my microphone sounds a bit different. Out of laziness, I decided to use the microphone I use for work to take calls and stuff, so quality is a bit lower than usual. We're going to start over here. This is one end of the alley, and this is like the little market area. So I found, I'm sure everybody's seen these NPC models everywhere. Ugh, of course now this has to render it. There we go. And I just added my own little cyberpunk attachments to them. And there was one that I got that came with a voice, basically. Like every once in a while it'll say something. So I just ripped that. I ripped that script, and from that NPC, and I added to all the little, I think I have a total of 3 NPCs that talk in here. So I gave them something to talk. So if you hang around long enough, they'll start saying stuff. Mostly just general niceties that they would say. But also, there is a little bit of a storyline I have going on. Just a teeny tiny little story going on that helps guide you to a secret space here. I think if you just click them, they'll also prompt them to say something. Yeah, there you go. Amaya whispers. Well, I have them whisper so that they aren't spamming the whole parcel every time. All you see here is top-notch quality. I refurbished everything myself. So, yeah, I have her selling a little bit of everything. Got TVs, stuffed animals, produce, junk, t-shirts, and weapons. This eventually fixes itself. It's a whole, I have too many textures, I guess, coming in. No refunds. Let's see if I can get one more. Nice night we're having. Okay. Alright. So there was going to be a room in here, but couldn't afford it. And these buildings here are just filler. They didn't come with rooms inside of them. Got my cabling and everything. Can't be cyberpunk without a bunch of wires everywhere. So here at the cafe, if you've seen my old videos, you know I had a Cyberpunk Alley before, so I'm pretty much gonna be a woman of old habit here and gonna recreate some of my old alley. And that alley had a cafe and a library, so I recreated kind of both in one. Now we're gonna let textures render in again. Okay, so I'm sure again everybody's seen this lady in many a bar. I added some hair that I had to her, and she is our barista. Let's see what she has to say. I wonder if that deck head is keeping a virtual eye on this place. Kind of flattering. Alright, so she'll randomly say other things. So that's kind of the teeny tiny story we have going on. If you want coffee, you can click on this and grab some espresso. Oh, okay, I've been clicking on it too much. Do I have it in my hand now? I do. Sort of. There we go. So try to make it so whenever you're looking through windows, you still get a pretty neat view. One of the compromises I had to make was there's a floor texture that comes with the rain for droplets, and I had it all throughout here, and it looked really cool, but you know, couldn't afford the land impact anymore. So here's our first little area. It's supposed to be like underneath these buildings is how it's supposed to appear, but it was a gotcha, I believe. A lot of this stuff, no, I wouldn't say a lot of this stuff. Many of these rooms are gotcha backdrops. That's right. That's the word I was looking for. And textures. Alright, so we have a couple of doors we're going to go through here. I wanted to show you this. If you guys do visit, I would love to get your feedback or anything, any response that you had to this place. And you put a note card, you just drop it in here, and I get to read it. That's my favorite thing, is to hear other people's opinions about the space. In my old Cyberpunk Alley, I had the same thing, and I had a few people drop me a line, tell me what they thought. So I wanted to make this a room, or lead to a room, but I couldn't. I ran out of space, so we're going to go here. Alright, so this room that we go up into is actually here. This is different from the old alley, and where everything went into a skybox way further up, because I couldn't fit everything in the alley. But this time, I built it so it was actually in the alley, and you could look out into the alley. So these doors didn't move, so I had to make little teleporters to get you out here. So if you wanted to lean over the railing and look down on the alley, you could. And go back inside. So this room ahead of my head is the detective's room, and this came from the Manpanion, really. My Manpanion is the one who introduced me to Second Life several years ago. He had been in it a long time ago and was getting back into it. And so I wanted to join, and so he showed me the ropes. And he wanted to do more of a, I think like a 1930s role play, and that didn't quite pan out. And I was really interested in cyberpunk, so we found In Silico, and he wanted to be a detective in that, but the role play didn't quite pan out in Silico. There wasn't really a lot of people, and the few people could find, it just wasn't fitting what he was into. So we started doing another project, and he lost interest. But when I built my own Cyberpunk Alley, then I made a room for him that was a detective's room. This is kind of recreating that space that I had made for him in my old alley. Not a lot, because again, I ran out of land impact, unfortunately, but I feel like it kind of gives a little bit of a noir, like the bed that, oops, this lounging, hanging bed thing. Oh, great, Ayla's stuck. And the camera. Okay. Go here. There you go. It kind of reminds me of like a detective sleeping in his office. He has very minimal needs, and he gets the basics of what he needs done. I have like a little teacup on there, because he's also kind of a mess. So this is his office, and here's his little kitchen area. We got some steam pipes going on, a little industrial, and this. So one of the things with gotcha stuff, especially from this one guy that I kept getting it from, I guess Minimal, everything's walkthrough. Everything, nothing has anything sittable in it. I think it's because you're expected, if you're using it for a backdrop, you come with your own animations to use in there, right? Because you're doing it for photo shoots and stuff. So I had to find, I have a bathtub, so I ripped the bathtub animations from the bathtub that I had, and I added it to here. So now you can sit in here. Now we have animations that we can do. I forgot that there were couples. I'm going to have to remove the adult stuff because this is a mature place only and not exactly even supposed to be having a whole bunch of people here. Like I couldn't publicly list this area because of the, I guess the way the rental company set the rules for this land. So we're just going to keep it mature at best, no adult stuff. Anyways, back to what I was doing. So we're on sitting edge, soak, yeah. But I really liked this. I thought it looked really, again, it gives me this noir type feeling of, I guess, neo-noir, cyberpunk noir. Of this is like his one indulgence. this pod installment of a jacuzzi. It clearly doesn't really even belong in this little space, but it's bare besides that. He doesn't need anything else. We're not gonna address where his clothes are or where he stores his other things. Alright, so we're going back down. Textures, rendering, takes forever. Next door is this one. Bloop. Alright, so now we're in this little pod area. Again, I had to add walls and floor and stuff, so I didn't clip through it. I had to add a back wall. But I also ripped animations from a bed. And so now this bed you can sit and lay on. We have a nice little, the city windows and buildings and through the window background. It took me a really long time to get the animations in a spot that made sense. And I had to do it not through this adjusting window, because then it would just adjust it for only me, right? I had to go into this area and click on this thing and like figure out which XYZ these were, and this is the rotation area, and just tweak it from there. And my God, did that take a while. But it was worth it, because now it's cool. And I did that for, I have a few beds and chairs where I had to do all that stuff for. Oh, jumping, meant to go forward. Yeah, only problem is a lot of these spaces are really small and cramped, which is kind of what you want in a realistic setting, but not good for camera work. It would be nice if this was more like a game where I could restrict your camera movement. But it's Second Life, so, you know, there's always going to be some drawbacks. Alright, so we're going to move on. We're going to stick to the left here. So here's my little club. And you hear music now, right? So this is a 10-second loop that I got off of YouTube of a song that's available like for free on there to use in your videos. So I'm totally safe in posting this. And then I even have the bartender here mention who created the song, so he gets proper credit. And if you really like this 10-second clip, you can go now find the song on YouTube. So here she mentions a rim shine. So rim shine was a drink we invented, or I invented back when I was a quote-unquote bartender on Insilico to offer. So you can get a drink. You do have to go into your objects folder to attach it. Oh yeah, great. there we go. The cup is in her hand. I didn't quite get the animations to work. So if you have like a gun animation that holds it out in front of you, like you're holding a gun out in front of you, that would work well with this drink. Anyways, I'm going to detach that. Detach. Alright, so I had this is a very girly type place, right? Lots of pinks, lots of neon. And then got these in some gotcha somewhere, and I had the other Android looking door stopper here. I felt it made a nice nice theme. Oh yeah, and then I got this from don't even know where. It was like a freebie gift. The static animation is separate. I layered it on top. We have our bartender and then our lady who's kind of taking a break from dancing. I give her my cigarette here. And then you can dance here. I wanted to put down like some Animesh dancers, but they quickly became way too expensive. I have like 4 land impact left I can put down, and they're like 30 each. Let's have her say one more thing. Shake your thing on the dance floor. So yeah, probably end this video with her doing a little dance at her. Oh, all these are sittable too. This I got from the owner of the Aftermath at Insilico. So it was really nice of her. And then I added different sitting things to them. These are the boy animations. Very flexible for a guy. Okay. We're gonna stand. Whoop. Get out of here. So I was able to do this music, but yeah, just doing a loop and making it, I attached it to this light and I made it like a quarter loudness. So as you get further away, you don't hear it as much. And then you don't hear it at all. I don't think you heard it at all at the other end of the alley. So it feels like it's actually coming from the club, right? So a lot of places they have music like permeating throughout the entire sim, and I didn't want that effect. Okay, so this is the hardest angle. I'm very sorry. So we got a door, bloop, that takes us to this hallway. So let's go into the psychic readings first. So this one faces outside of the alleyway. And when you first land, I have a little note card, and it explains, like the story of Ashamalala a little bit. Like usually she can be seen skulking around level 1 of Cocoon, but she found herself in this forgotten alley or something. I forget exactly what I said. You'll see it if you come visit. So here's a view from Cocoon. I decided to put out here so you're not seeing freaking not like, yeah, my neighbors. So I do have sleeping animations on here as well. The same one as you saw before. And then here, since I put the psychic reading up, you can sit here. Actually, there's a better reflect. Yeah, I like this animation better. And then you can get your tarot card read. So we do 3 cards. And then it will tell you what they mean. I mean, you can see them. They have nice textures. And then if you click on your little chat thingy, it'll tell you what they mean. So pretty cool. And then it'll clean up itself, but you can also clean it up. Okay, let's get out of here. Okay, Ayla, how do you, there we go. Couldn't see my keys. So yeah, again, this was another backdrop, so I had to add a fourth wall and a door. There we go. Alright, we're going to go through this door. So, again, clearly this was a gotcha, and I got 2 of them. This one looks in on the alley a little bit. So I thought that was nice. We got the cables everywhere. It's never going to be perfect with semi-transparent things, unfortunately. But I did my best. What's interesting is I saw on the Cyberpunk subreddit, someone had made an image using, I'm sure, some 3D modeling program, this exact frickin' room. I mean, the bed was different, but it was the shape, it was these items, it was structures like this, except, you know, a little bit more complex, way more realistic looking. And I was like, oh, this is a real 3D model, and then someone brought it into Second Life. Okay. I'm sure that happens a lot. I see complaints about that a lot on Virtual Secrets. We're getting out of here. Okay, so we're back into the alley. So you can see those 2 rooms up there, kind of just slapped on. Alright, so we have, whoop. Okay. So here we actually have 3 doors that we can go through. I just treated them like they were garages. You may have to get out of the rain to see the doors. There you go. Here's the first one. So this is my one and only posh room. The idea, I mean, I love to be realistic with these environments, and it kind of killed me that I couldn't put a kitchen and a bathroom and a closet and all this stuff in every single living space. So I just kind of had to pretend, okay, this is the room that you can see from the alleyway, and this door doesn't lead to the hall of the building, it leads to the rest of the apartment, and this is just the only part of the apartment you can see. So it's okay that there's no kitchen or bathroom and all that. These guys, if you're interested, this is actually a shorter coffee table that I stretched up, but this and the chair were freebies from the stay-at-home continuous event. I'm not quite sure, group. So these were free. That's pretty cool. So I have it, this is like a CEO type that works from home. He's got his fancy plant life, and he's got continuous information always scrolling. This is when he works from home, I guess, from his bedroom. And I'm standing on the desk again. Okay. And I thought it would be, I got that fancy water fountain some time ago, and I wanted to use it. And I was like, what better way than to have a rich person use it in a completely, like, nonsensical way. Why would you want a waterfall right next to your head while sleeping? I personally would have to pee after 20 minutes of listening to that. But it has a nice aesthetic. It seemed fancy. Okay. So let's go back down. We're going to the next door. Alright, so here is this is actually 2 different gotchas, 2 different backdrops I pieced together. And it's kind of like a startup that's trying to get going. So they were able to rent this space. We have a nice view out the window. And this is just boxes of their, related to their startup business. That's what I'm imagining anyways. Again, I had to add a floor and seating and everything, because everything was clipped. We just clip right through it. Let's see, sit. And this is my favorite. It took me so long to get that figured out. I think this one's the same way. Yeah, almost. This one's not as great, but I got there. And you can adjust it the rest of the way to fit your character. These chairs also you can sit on. So you could have a whole little meeting in here for whatever nefarious business you got going on. All right. Getting out of here. Let's go to the next room. Alright, so here's another, this is one of the smaller pods again. Again, 2 backdrops I put together. So here's one, we're waiting for that texture to render in, and here's the other. And then I added seating to this. This one's a little trickier for some reason to get the, there we go, to be able to see the seating. So we could have 2 people sitting on here. Oh, well, you'll have to adjust a little bit. I clearly only was concerned about the female seating. Sorry about that. So again, we got the, alright, camera, you're going to have to work with me a little bit. Alright, there we go. Another great view. And then let's have her sitting, or have her pondering. Yeah. I mean, this type of bed insert is very iconic now. I see it everywhere. I don't know where it originated, but I know everybody loves to use it in their cyberpunk imagery. Alright, so let's get out of here. Would have loved to put more stuff, you know, just hanging around, but just not enough. Just not enough land impact. There's never enough. So here, this red area is another gotcha that I got, and okay, so I put this lady here, right? This donation box. I like to emphasize, not expecting donations, but the last time I made an alley, several people did ask to have a way to donate, and I'm not going to make it difficult if someone wants to donate to express their pleasure in what I made. That'd be cool. But totally, I would really, if you just wanted to leave a note card, I would love you to leave me a note card to tell me what you thought of the place. So here's another view. We're going to head our way back down the alley, so we got a couple more doorways to go through. Ay. Got the rain, sorry. Boop. Alright, so this is the apartment that I consider to be Ash's apartment. It's very similar to what I had the setup on Cocoon as. I'm sure you'll recognize it if you've seen my previous videos. I have posters that I had up in my old Cocoon, oh my god, my old Cyberpunk Alley. Something I learned while building is that Second Life will only show you 6 lights at a time. This is why you saw like lights suddenly turning on as I was looking at them. So you've got a lot of things emitting light. Just got to keep in mind you're only going to be seeing 6 of them at any given moment. This holographic thing is like pretty much the only thing I purely made. Everything else, oh, and I guess the posters. But everything else I purchased from Second Life. This scrolling thing again, I think I may have mentioned before. I made it. Textures. Okay, so yeah, you've seen this before with the texture streaming across, and I got that effect. I think it really looks really neat because it's the same texture behind it, but the way that the artist that made these numbers wave in and out when it slides across, for me at least, it gives the impression that the numbers behind it are kind of moving as well, very slowly, and a parallax type thing going on. So I really like this effect, so I used it a couple of times. Got the old chair. Got the bed without a texture again. Ugh, textures, textures, textures. Okay, well, we'll start here. The textures are kind of back. So now we have more views from the outside. This is what it looks like from the inside. Oh. Man, I don't know what to do. I guess there's just way too many high resolution textures going on for Second Life to keep up. Just, it loads them in, and then you turn your head, and it tries to forget about them, which is dumb, because it makes you load everything in at all times anyways. Like, there's no... That's why it's so laggy, right? Anyways. Oh, kind of tired of waiting for textures to render, so I'm going to get up. Oh. So here's a door, but we're going to go on to this one. Alright, so this room I decided to make a little bit more girly again. So we have the makeup table. We have... okay, so I guess maybe a dirty kitchen isn't typically girly, but we got the paintings, which we're waiting for that in resin again. We got the wings, so they're back. Yeah, I liked this image a lot that I got from the internet somewhere, so I put that up. It's like a big graffiti art, and I think this is like a more low-tech area. Like, this is just someone who lives in this world, isn't really a cyberpunk themselves, you know, isn't really into that stuff. They're just trying to exist here. There we go. Another nice view. Oof. There we go. Yeah, I just really like the glowing that I have going on outside against the rain and stuff. Okay. Hey, so now the music doesn't seem to be going away, so I think I might have to tweak that a little bit. It might be a little too loud. Okay, so we have one more area, and this area is kind of a spoiler if you wanted to figure out by clues given by my talking NPCs here. We didn't get a lot of that conversation when I was clicking on them. You kind of have to hang around or click on them repeatedly, I guess, to get to those particular dialogues. So if you want to figure out the mystery for yourself, and where the secret area is, spoiler alert ahead, and if you don't care, then I'm about to head in there. Okay? Fair warning. Okay, we're going in. So, this bartender talks about getting coffee here. This barista talks about how she almost got held up, and then some hero came swooping in to save her, and then disappeared back into the night. Definitely a deckhead. She doesn't know where they came from, where they went. She wonders if they've been watching the place, and she feels a little flattered by it. Hey, what's going on with my cookie sign? There we go. Okay, so what we're saying. Someone came in to save her, ran off tonight. She hasn't seen him since. And she wonders if he's been keeping an eye on her like some kind of guardian angel superhero. And this lady is like, I saw him. He swooped in down the cables. Anyway, she says she sees him. She's seen him swoop in. So, what we're going to do is, now we know, yeah, attempted armed robbery at the coffee shop. So, we know he came down cables. We know he's been looking. We saw up there at the detective's office earlier that there was a chair up on that roof. So now we know we need to get up on that roof. We've done all the doors except for this one. Jesus saves. I have a little cross over this. I'm not saying it's Jesus. I'm just saying I needed hints. There you go. So now we have a door up here. We have that chair where you can also sit. You may recognize this from old videos in my other alley. So you can keep an eye on the Amsterdam Cafe. And then this door can open. It's a little bit cooler if all the textures are in, but okay. So you can sit here. So we're all waiting for things to resin a little bit more. So this is a little secret hideout. We got computer stuff. We got a bare mattress. We got a bag. A little girly for a guy, but this is the future. Guys can be girly. Alright, and what do we have here? So we have the same screens that we've seen in previous places. We got this going on. It's just my shortcut term for being on the internet, I guess, in the future. And we have secret camera angles of the coffee shop. And the one zoomed in on our barista specifically. Ooh, that's about as far as I got, guys. So we do have, there's a guy or gal, I imagined it was a guy though, because we keep calling him a guy, who is watching over the coffee shop for whatever reason. To protect the barista, I guess, in this little alleyway. So yeah. If you come here and you get in here, it'd be cool if I have the door public so anyone can come in and open it. It'd be cool if you would close it after yourself. But, you know, it's not the end of the world if you don't. Bloop. Alright. So, I think we're about done. Alright, guys. Well, that's it. As promised, we're dancing in the club. Me and Harley Quinn, I guess, because that's one of the ones I had. Again, I'll put a slurl down in the description if you want to come visit. Drop me a note card. Tell me what you think. It'll be open till the end of September. Yeah, that's about it. Hope you have a great weekend. Thanks for watching.